Hello gents, my name is George, the nice smelling gentleman, and today we're taking a look at a fragrance from the house of Armaf, the Odyssey Home White Edition. So before we talk about the fragrance itself, how it smells, how it performs, let's take a look at the bottle. Now, I don't know what you think when you look at this bottle, but for me, my first impression when I saw it was, damn, this looks like a cup of coffee or like a coffee thermos, with the handle on the side. Um, the cup is quite strange. When you look at the cup at the first moment, you may think that it opens up, on the side with a hinge or something like that, but in reality, it's just a simple cap. The good thing about the cap is that it is, it's not very heavy, but it's clicks back into place very snugly, and you can actually hold the whole fragrance, the whole bottle, through the cap without fearing that the bottle may drop. Now, uh, other parts of the bottle, it's a pretty thick. I don't know what they use, where it's plastic or glass. I don't know, but it's quite heavy, quite thick. The atomizer is pretty decent, nothing special, but it's not the worst atomizer in the world as well. So, all in all, I mean, nothing special about the bottle, the presentation. It's not the best looking bottle, the most, the bottle with the best quality out there, but it's also not the worst looking or, with the worst quality out there. Now, when we start to talk about the actual smell of the fragrance, first of all, we have to note that Armaf are a well-known brand for copying other brands, making clones of other brands. And when I was first interested about this particular fragrance, I read some opinions in over the internet. I also looked up at Fragrantica about this particular fragrance, and I don't know if Armaf tried to do a one-on-one clone of something, but they were definitely inspired by a couple of fragrances for which we will talk in a second. Now, when we look at Fragrantica and the note breakdown and the main accords, you'll see stuff like citruses, amber, hot spicy, marine, aromatic, woody, fresh spicy, sweet, aquatic, musky. Those are the main accords that are listed on Fragrantica. And the top notes are supposed to be pink pepper, grapefruit, yuzu, sea notes, violet leaves, amber oud. Now, for me, this note breakdown and note accords, I think they're pretty off from what the fragrance smells. For example, I don't pick up any citruses. I don't pick up anything marine in it, anything aquatic, anything fresh, spicy. I mean, for me, this is a totally different fragrance from what's listed in Fragrantica. Now, when we talk about the actual smell of the Odyssey Home White Edition, what I can say, I mean, I don't have the most sophisticated nose out there. I'm not gonna pretend like I can pick up all the notes that are being used in the ingredients that are being used in making this fragrance. But what I can tell you for sure is that this is a sweet fragrance. Uh, I can pick up the creaminess in it. I can pick up a vanilla note for sure. It's powdery. It's creamy, and there's probably a touch of wood and smokiness in it. Now, people have compared this to Versace Eros. Uh, I'm not too sure about that one. They've also been comparing it to Invictus Aqua from Paco Rabanne, which also I think is a bit of a stretch. You can maybe pick up some small notes, somewhere in the background, but the third fragrance that this has been compared to has been the Armani Stronger With You. Now, this I think is probably what's closest to the Armaf's Odyssey Home White Edition. Um, I definitely pick up the resemblance between the two fragrances, and I don't know if Armaf tried to do a clone of that, but they were definitely inspired by Armani Stronger With You. So let's talk about performance. Uh, this for me has been a pretty decent performing fragrance. On my skin it lasts somewhere between 8 to 10 hours. Maybe like after the ninth hour it becomes a very intimate skin scent, but I can definitely pick it up for as far as 10 hours after I've sprayed it. If you spray it on clothes, you will definitely smell the fragrance on the next day as well. So on clothes it has a pretty decent staying power. As far as projection goes, I think somewhere about in the first hour and a half you get a decent projection. After that it of course starts to become more of a skin scent. um, about the price, now this thing costs about 25 euros, 20 to 25 euros in Europe where I'm based. And at the end of the day you pick up an eau de parfum EDP fragrance for 25 euros, 100 milliliters of it, with a you know pretty decent quality on the bottle. uh, I think it's a pretty good buy for that amount of money. If I have to rate this fragrance, first of all I want to say that I'm not gonna compare it to any other fragrance because I don't think they tried to make a one-to-one clone of anything. So as a standalone fragrance I can give it about probably 7.5 out of 10. It's sweet. It's has a decent performance. If we talk about blind buying this, I would say if you are into sweet fragrances, then you can pretty much safely blind buy this. As far as usage, I would say this is more of a nighttime fragrance rather than a daytime. And as far as seasons go, I would say you should definitely try to avoid this in the summer and like late spring. You should try to use it more in the autumn and winter. And yeah, so my final thoughts on this, on the Odyssey Home White Edition by Armaf, is that this is a pretty decent, sweet, uh, long-lasting fragrance that is dirty cheap. I mean, if you are into sweet fragrances, you can go for it. If you're curious or want to, if you are collecting fragrances, you can also safely go for it, even like blindly. 25 euros, I mean, it's nothing. And so, those were my thoughts on the Armaf Odyssey Home White Edition. I hope that you liked the video. If you did, consider giving it a like. Also consider subscribing to my channel because there will be a lot more fragrance videos in the future after this. And I hope to see you again in my next video. And until then, bye bye.